Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. So today I thought I should update you on kind of what's going on in my life. I've had some big things come up and I thought I would bring you along this journey with me. If you do stay to the end of this video, I'm going to be telling you something that for some people can be very upsetting, but I want to let you know beforehand that I'm actually very okay with everything, and I want to thank you in advance for your support. I'm going to begin by talking about polycystic ovarian syndrome, or for the short form is PCOS. For those of you that don't know what polycystic ovarian syndrome is, essentially it's just you have cysts on your ovaries. Now this is very, very common. I feel like most women that I've actually spoken to have said that they have it. Not everyone gets it, but it is a very common thing. And usually people can live their entire lives with it and it doesn't actually affect them. But for some, it does have other effects. The things that you do in order to get confirmed with polycystic ovarian syndrome is you have to have 2 of the 3 criteria. The first is you have an ultrasound and they actually see cysts on your ovaries. The second thing is you have blood work done and they see that the hormones in your body are out of balance and there's other indicators that show that there's something going on in your body. The third thing are physical symptoms. Now, those physical symptoms include missed or irregular periods, and to be honest, there was a time where I would have my period for 6 months. Excess body hair, which I've definitely had, and this is an insecurity of mine, so I'm kind of nervous about saying this, but I've always had hair on my chin, and I feel like most people notice that. But for me, in order for me to make sure that that didn't take over my life, I needed to be confident. So I did whatever I could to hide it, and then if not, I didn't let that part of me define me. I knew I was so much more, and I proved it. Weight gain. So a lot of people with polycystic ovarian syndrome, they get the hormonal weight. So that means the lower belly. They have a very hard time losing the weight around their midsection. Another common thing is acne around the chin. So when you get acne around your chin, this is the hormonal section. And I know I've covered it up, but you can see that I do have the acne there. A lot of people also experience thinning of hair, and infertility is a common thing with people with PCOS. I had 3 out of the 3, so it was a guaranteed I did have polycystic ovarian syndrome. Everything was status quo, not a big deal. But the other thing is I've been having constant pains on my lower left side for years. I was talking to my sister, and my sister has also had polycystic ovarian syndrome, and she was telling me about her gynecologist and the things that he's done to actually help her, and she recommended him. So I went to my doctor and basically asked her to set me up with this specific gynecologist. Now, she told me that she will only do that if I'm planning on getting pregnant. I told her, I'm like, yep, I'm considering having children, so I would love to really talk to this gynecologist. That's how I got there. I went to my first appointment and he told me he wanted to send me for an ultrasound. He wanted to get the blood work done because, again, it's been over 3 years since we've had any updates, and got the blood work done, got the ultrasound done, immediately went back to his office right after the ultrasound, and he said, yep, you have polycystic ovarian syndrome. No surprise. And then he also said, we also found a mass in your uterus. Now, that's a scary thing. And so when he told me, I was very, very calm. And he even questioned it. He's like, usually when I tell people that, they're more nervous. And I asked him, I said, is there anything I need to be nervous about? And he said, at this point, we don't have any information, so nothing to stress about. And that's exactly what I was thinking. I know that a lot of people in my family has passed away from cancer. And I know that there is a risk that it could be cancer. But he did tell me prepare for surgery, because once we figure out what it is, I am planning on removing it regardless. He told me that I have an MRI scheduled, so until then, there's nothing we can do at this moment. So we'll wait for the MRI, and then we'll regroup and we'll figure out what the next steps are. I am usually very good at keeping myself calm. I could choose to, worry and stress about it being cancer and dive into that and be really worried and uptight, or I can just keep living my life until I know that there is potentially something to worry about, or until I know that there's nothing. But at this point, nothing in my life has changed. So I've decided to just keep doing what I have to do, and I'm not going to worry about anything until I potentially have to. Now, because I'm saying that, it's also important for me to let you know that I did have a day where it was bothering me a lot. I did have a day where I started thinking. I started thinking about my family. And I think at one point I didn't know when my ultrasound was going to be. And the fear of the unknown I think the fear of the unknown got to me the most. This is like the first time I've cried about it. It was a lot of the fear of the unknown. I didn't know when the ultrasound was going to be. I was kind of hoping that I would be able to go to Europe this upcoming summer, considering it was canceled last year. And it was difficult not having any answers and not knowing another thing to look forward to. But now I was given an MRI date, and it actually came sooner than expected. So within the next few weeks I will be having an ultrasound, and then a week after that I will be meeting with my doctor, and then we'll probably be prepping for surgery. So I am going to bring you on this journey with me, because I've been talking to a lot of people with polycystic ovarian syndrome, and it is very common, but I've also been a person that lived with an invisible disability, with the concussions and all the things I've struggled with, that just because you couldn't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And, I wanted to share with people that it's the same thing with polycystic ovarian syndrome. If you're in a position where you're in pain, that isn't normal with polycystic ovarian syndrome. Where I did have people telling me, well, it's just the cyst, or, it's nothing to worry about, you'll get flare-ups and then it will go away. No, that pain was something more. So if you are listening to this and you're having those pains, please get checked out. Get a second opinion. Having conversations with, another person that's gone through something similar, I wouldn't have taken those first steps. My doctor thought that the only reason why you should be seeing a gynecologist is if you're planning on having a baby. And I've had to lie to my doctor to tell her yes in order for me to get those treatments, and I'm thankful I did, and I don't take that back. So you're welcome to join me on this journey. And I will be posting another video in a few weeks when I get the results from the MRI back, and I'll give you all an update then. Thank you so much for listening to me, and despite that little tear fest I've had, I am okay. I'm not stressed about it in any way. I know I'm gonna be okay. I don't have answers right now, and I wish I could give you a lot more, but instead, I'm gonna just bring you along my journey. Thank you so much, and I will keep you updated.